Guys, I sold quite a few of these yesterday when I was advertising them. And we have a lot of new subscribers. Best book ever written for trumpet and brass. $10 down below. Anyway, you saw the thumbnail. We're back to basics, man. Back to basics. And don't think for 1 minute all of these icons that we try to emulate, are doing exactly what we're doing. Okay? Tongue position. The whole ball of wax. All right? Let me honk a little bit and we'll take it from there. Above double C and caress the baby. Life's good. You can only do that with proper tongue position. Now, there is one way and one way only to keep the corners relaxed. One way and one way only. You do not do it without proper tongue position. Claude Gordon, I-E-E. E, say the syllable E, look where your tongue is, it's way the heck back there in the throat. Can't possibly keep those chops locked in. You can create compression back in your throat, but that's not the compression you want. I'm telling you, he was very, very close. He was very, very close. And as I said before, if I have one regret in my illustrious career, is that when I met Claude Gordon, we haven't even broached the subject, Jerry and I, hadn't even broached the subject of tongue position. Okay? He would have been fascinated. Anyway, so here we are. You can't keep the chops relaxed without a proper tongue position. Look at Chris Martin. Look at Bilger. They're all tight, tight, tight because they have no pop in their tongue. The tongue is in the wrong place. Faddis, Harry James, the tongue is all in the right place. Each note pops, and there's no stretch whatsoever. None. Now, I've mentioned before, Jerry used to call this tongue-controlled embouchure, and it was absolutely spot on, the perfect title. I don't use it anymore for specific reasons. I'm not going to get into it. Okay? And both of those yokels, their channels are gone. I take that back. They're still up, but they don't post anything. They're out of business, which is a good thing for the trumpet world. There's no question. With that said, so here we are. And what is the proper tongue position? Now that has changed over the years, but not as much as you might think. I used to call it a tweak, this, that, and the other thing. But here's the bottom line, and take this to the bank. The tip of the tongue, if that's your teeth, that's your tongue, it's through the teeth on every note you play. It does not go back. It's locked in there. Okay? And the rest of it will thicken up and create your compression. But if the tongue is locked to the soft inner red of the bottom lip. It's not way down here. No. It doesn't go back like the snake anymore. No, it's just locked there. Now, I've done this before and I'm going to do it again. Okay? Don't even spit buzz. Take the tongue, press it against hard, firm against your lower lip. And when you get it there, try to stretch your corners. It's almost impossible. You have to try to do it. You have to think about doing it. It's locked in there. Wherever your tongue goes, the tongue controls everything, and the embouchure will follow and lock in. When the tongue even begins to go back, I'm not even talking way back to Claude Gordon, I'm talking when it even begins to go back, that is when you start to strain. Now, why haven't I played triple C's yet? Because I can play them every single day. You notice right about the A flat, guys, it starts to thin out. And if it starts to thin out by the time I get to the triple C, it will be even more thinned out, and I don't do it. That was one of Jerry's tremendous talents. He could separate the music from the physical and just concentrate on the physical no matter what happened be coming out of the trumpet at a certain time. Okay? But that's it. Now, if that's not in place, just say, ah. Okay? And look how easy it is. You can't, there's no anchor there. You can't keep it locked in. Tighten your corner, tighten the lips. It doesn't keep that cornered. It's all controlled by the corners. And that just pinches your tongue. The orbicularis must remain relaxed, except for the isometric compression. If that's your tongue and that's your lower lip, look at the strength. All of that strength through all your embouchure, through all your shoulders and everything. This is not your embouchure. But what will happen is you will engage hyperradiation, all the muscles of the embouchure in the right place if it's locked there. That's the only way it can be. Sandoval does it. That's why every one of their notes pop. Or Maurice Andre does it. There's pictures of him setting up with the tongue through the lips right into the mouthpiece. And then he slowly pulls it back and he's locked in. Locked in. And this okay. One of those jamokes that try to think they're doing, ask them to do that. Spit buzz and then pull the corners and see if it affects the spit buzz. They can't do that because the corners are tight. That's why their tone is pinched and thin and out of tune. All right? Get the book. $10. Jerry said I should have charged you $2,000. Anyway, love you all, guys. Have a great day.